And welcome back for the final game of the day on this grand finals day, as we have witnessed earlier this afternoon, the Western Wildcats beating Clydesdale Western for their first ever jaunt into Europe. It will be for the Wildcats. We move into the men's grand final now. Both these sides are in Europe, but they are still trying to play for the top seed spot for next season's EHL. The two sides here, repeat of last year. Grove, the surprise victors, 3-1 victors, and they are about to face their EHL test. Grange have already played and bowed out the competition at the group stage, so who will be top seeds for next year's European competition? Exciting to see a match-up between two good sides. Grange, of course, victors of the title, and been dominant for the last couple of years or so. They're looking to right last year's defeat in the grand final that was a wrong in their coffee book. So Alan Meikle back with us for commentary alongside myself, Callum Patterson. Alan, what's your thoughts on this one? Grange were looking for revenge from last year.
Yeah, I think for a lot of the players in the team today, that defeat will still be rankling with some of them. I think based on league form, Grange obviously going through the season with only one defeat, and that was recently to their opponents, Menzieshill. They must start as clear favourites, although we know what Menzieshill are capable of. They rose to the occasion last season, and I'll expect a very, very tight game with very fine margins to decide the winner.
Just like the women's grand final, plethora of excellent players. Can you perhaps pick out a couple of key players from both sides, Alan?
I think for Grange you have to look at the set piece with Dan Coultis. Then you've got their captain Cammy Fraser as the heartbeat of the team. He drives intensity, and then you've got talent elsewhere in the squad. And in terms of Grove Menzieshill, they've got Ben Cosgrove returning, of course, the effervescent Cameron Golden. He's a player with a real X factor that can really turn a game. So I think there's players, it's hard to pick a couple from each team. I think there's quality throughout every player, but they're probably the ones that could cause some real damage on the day.
So almost set to go then. Grange in the white, Grove and their dark navy colours, and underway then for this final match of the day. Already almost a ball picking up there, Todd Mills towards the final third. And the conversation continues as well. If you've been watching our coverage throughout the day or just joining us, when you get in touch, you can maybe ask a question or two. Hashtag Grand Finals is the way to get in contact. A flung ball by Cameron Golden, but well, initially cleared. Back it comes towards side in Navy. Hustle and bustle there on Greg Hopkinson looking to try and get it away.
Yeah, a touchy start to the game there. Both teams really up for it, really intense in each other's faces. Not a lot of open ball there. I think Grange just surviving that last wee spell with Cameron Golden immediately an attacking threat.
Cam here then for Grove. Craney trying to work it in. Just go behind that and will be the turnover.
Yeah, that might be a tactic Coulthard uses quite a lot. He's got a big area, big levers on him, but not used very effectively. Easy pick up by Jamie Golden in the Menzieshill midfield. So that'll be a good sign for Menzieshill moving forward.
Kenzie down that side.
Yeah, quite a cagey start. Menzieshill sitting in a quarter zone here, so forcing Grange to drive at them, hoping that their greater numbers will win the ball, and they've stolen it quite easily here with Golden.
Yeah, Shepherdson was trying to get it towards the circle, but back it comes to Simon White. Kenzie again feeding forward for Cammy Fraser. Experienced cap talked about Cass Cuthbert for the Wildcats in the women's game, being a pivotal figure, a strong figure. I think that's can be same said for Cammy Fraser.
Yeah, undoubtedly. I think a lot of the players will take example from him, having been one of the longest serving players.
Oh, it's a goal and flashed across, and Ryan Frank was on the end of it, and quick as a flash, Grange have the lead.
Yeah, Frank Ryan is a well-known goal scorer. He's always in the right place at the right time. He's got a real instinct for a goal, so no surprise to see him in the score sheet early on.
Yeah, Ryan was waiting and in the right spot there.
Quite disappointed from a Menzieshill point of view. That should have been a fairly safe position for Grange to have had the ball, but they fired it straight through the heart of the defence, so questions asked there. Good strong run by Albert Rowling here, but easily dealt with there by a very composed Grange defence.
Yeah, just seemed to keep on going there, but eventually stopped in his tracks.
Very aggressive press by Menzieshill here, forcing Grange back, but they've worked that out really nicely. It's a good exit.
Hopkins in with time and space, and there's Fraser. Popped out nicely for him with the control. Almost a cutting pass, but well read. Grove did have that win just 2 or 3 weeks back, but should be said that Grange had the title wrapped up, not to take anything away from the win. Yeah,
you definitely can't read too much into it. Grove had to get the win to secure second, and as you say, Grange had nothing to play for. Plus it was in Dundee, so the odds were stacked.
And those proverbial wins, a tough place to go.
Absolutely, you don't come away with much from Dundee. Good response by Grove here. Never easy going down early, but it might have settled them a bit now. Just play their game, be a wee bit more offensive.
Tomlinson. Anything quite a grasp of that. Lots of White there back. Anyway, marshalling.
Yeah, it's another poor aerial by Coultas. He's just not caught them. The idea was good, distance poor.
Long there by Cosgrove, and away it goes.
Yeah, Cosgrove's just returned from quite a long injury layoff, so good to see him back in the pitch. He's been training hard and seems to be getting back to a bit of form, which is good to see.
Good time of the season to be back.
Yeah, he's timed that well. I think Menzieshill have had a real bad spell of injuries, so they really have timed it well, getting Golden back, getting Cosgrove back, to name but a few.
Let's stay there again for Golden to reclaim. Tomlinson with a nice idea down that side, just dotted behind, so there's rolling in the right spot as with the support in Tomlinson.
Yeah, very offensive by Menzieshill at the moment, with only one player in their own half, with Captain Tomlinson stepping really high up, so Grange will be keen to capitalise on the counter here. Interesting to see how they cope with that. Yeah, well kept in by young Jamie Golden there.
Yeah, well worked. And again, tried to prod it around, keep it in play, but James Dean had it covered. Good weaving skills there. Mills in his side's direction. Just on the edge of the day. Probably Shepperton looking for one or two manoeuvres. Decides to go right back. Coultis sitting and waiting. Kenzie, ball forward, don't find anyone from Shepperton. Grove still trying to settle here after that early goal conceded.
Yeah, that was a really good example of what Menzieshill are excellent at. Obviously their indoor is a very strong part in the city and in their club, and that was a really good example of them working the ball out in 5-10 metre triangles rather than big passes. Nice to watch.
Good amount of supporters across on that far side watching on, trying to it's probably marginally warmer because although not too much sun around, peeking out just now, but it has been out. I'm sure there's a light suntan kind of feel across the air, but still a bit cold with the wind.
Yeah, I stood over there in between the games. I think it's more wind burn rather than sunburn, but the players will be happy enough. It's nice playing conditions, and here's Golden in the attack in the right wing here.
Yep, Cameron Golden, and he's found support in towards the circle. Players queuing up. Said it's a solo effort which flashes well by.
Yeah, good effort by Dr. Paul Martin. Talented man, able to marry his career in medicine with a career on the hockey pitch. But like in the earlier game, we really have to be hitting a target at this level to have any real impact. Yeah, Grove just running the changes there. I think there was 3 players coming on with Ollie James coming on. That's his first involvement in the game for Menzieshill.
A bit untidy there for Menzieshill is McCluskey here. This is John McCluskey supporting Andy Graham. Trying to squeeze out a bit of danger there was John. Coultis across.
Very aggressive by Grange with every player in the attacking half here, so if they lose the ball they know they're going to have a really good platform to retain it again.
It's been a good spell here. Mackenzie just stick coming in, back Coultis is there. This is Rusniak Clemens. Well, fed through but no touch.
Yeah, it was a good tester of that pass, just no one in the end of it unfortunately, but I would certainly persevere with that kind of angle and that penetration angle into the D. I think that was just a bit of a slip there by the Menzieshill player, nothing in it, but definitely the right decision by the umpire there, Ian Diamond, who's had a good start to the game. It's something that you do see in this pitch. It's definitely, I don't know if it's dry patches because of the wind, but there's definitely footing is an issue.
Yeah, the trend has been every game so far, a bit of water at half time in each contest. Back it goes to 23 zone for the long corner. The pressure continues for the side in front. Trying to weave into the circle they go. It was good play by Dylan Bean. Eventually his tracks were stopped and then the ball was turned over.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Grange have had the best of the opening 13 minutes, but Grove will be content enough. They've limited them to the one scoring opportunity, obviously, which Grange took, but as for that, there's not been many real chances.
Nice little play there, Hopkinson now. John McCluskey. Fraser forward, but only to an opposition player rather than a teammate. Good work there from McQuaid initially, but back it comes in that direction. And the way back to Tweedy, and a couple of players combined just to put it behind for now.
Yeah, it's just all a bit frantic at the moment. Both teams just need a wee bit composure on the ball, take an extra second just to make a better decision, and their outcomes will improve. Here's Johnson, the ball just coming wide of the D. He's turned well.
Yeah, he's kept it alive here. Could he set up a second?
Yeah, umpire playing advantage here. No, he's given it yet. Good tackle by Menzieshill there. Important interception around the penalty spot.
Tried to keep it alive, but in the end, the infringement happened despite Tweedy waiting. Paul Martin now at the other side here for Grove. Just ushered out. And Stephen thought it was his ball, but no, it just
I'd have
sailed out
to
its own accord.
have to agree with them there. I was sure that was a long, but umpires see different things to us.
Yep. They thought it was a turnover, just went out on its own accord, but
yeah, good foray forward by Coultas. You don't often see him up there. I think it's nosebleed territory now.
yeah, being picked out support there, and Mills, couple waiting.
I suppose the interesting thing about someone as defensive as Dan Coultas stepping up is they tend not to be marked, because we mark the attacking three in the midfield, so it's a really good penetrating run by him.
Good play again, Fraser. Some help coming in, Shepherdson. Going on himself here, Shepherdson. Again, it goes right across. The keeper got body in the way. John McCluskey was trying to turn. Still is trying to turn, still trying to get the ball back, and back with Mills.
Yeah, that's a nice chance for Grange. Well done by the big, tall Robbie Shepherdson. Just quite a tight angle. I suppose in an ideal world he could have just slid it across for a tap in at the back post, but nonetheless he hit the target. That's all you can ask. Good break here with, I think, McQuaid on the ball. Lovely pass to Paul Martin, but just too much on it.
Well, Frank Ryan scoring early on for Grange. It has been pretty much all Grange since, but almost a carbon copy of last year, with Frank Ryan scoring the opener for Grange in this final. However, it finished 3-1 to Grove.
Hopefully, I would imagine the Grange men are hoping that it's not going to be Groundhog Day, because the omens certainly aren't good at this moment. Another great interception by Dan Coultas, having a really strong game coming through the back and showing some good skills there, but good interception.
Run out of blood with these runs forward, as you say. It's not usual territory for him.
Yeah, I mean, it may well be a pre-planned tactic by coach David Knight, because it's not his usual game plan, but he'll need to be careful, because it will certainly deplete the energy more than normal for what is normally a more reserved performance.
There's been plenty, I know, speaking to one or two people, that David Knight's such high regard for him as one of the best coaches in the game in Scotland, and well, certainly a lot of plaudits for what he did last year for his side in the grand final.
Yeah, he's done really, really well. He was a fantastic player himself, and he's translated that into coaching. And I think their success in Europe as well shouldn't be underestimated. To go away to a European tournament as a Scottish side and to win is a fantastic accolade. So yeah, definitely one to watch. Poor touch there by Cosgrove, giving Grange a huge opening here.
Yeah, there's a bit of a space trying to come back into it there. As Fraser, who initially picked back up.
Yeah, I think Cammy Fraser's a wee bit disappointed. I think he feels his stick was obstructed there as he went to pull the trigger. Tough one to call for the umpires, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt there.
Riddle trying to fling it to the other side. Quick manoeuvring, stick came in, Shepherdson was trying to wriggle it into the D.
Yeah, that was a lovely tackle by young Aidan McQuaid, just taking hand off the stick, left hand tackle, full reach. He had to make it, but timed it perfectly.
In the women's game, we were talking about Millie Steyer. I remember seeing her here a few years ago when the underage Euros were around. Here's a chance though for number 2 for Grange, and it has been taken. Dylan Bean getting onto the end of it there for the side. Now 2 up, and what a start they've had. No repeat of last year after taking the lead. They started conceding goals, not at the moment.
Yeah, I think when you watch the top sportsmen play, like your tennis players, Federer, Nadal, they make things look easy. That finish looked easy. It wasn't easy. He took his time, he composed himself, he picked his spot. Wonderful finish.
In the pocket there. Came through nicely. Swept home. Federer, Nadal, Dylan Bean.
It's got a nice ring to it, eh?
Wonder if Federer and Nadal have ever played hockey.
Probably not, but I guarantee they'd be very good at it if they just tried it for a couple of weeks. A very famous Glaswegian sports person once played hockey, although Swedish, Henrik Larsson, but it's not well known.
We have to set up a new hashtag, Dylan Bean for Wimbledon or something. Now Grove having to chase from 2 behind after not having too many real chances or forays forward.
Yeah, the crowd not enjoying that decision by the umpire. Really, it's a really tricky part of the game, the scoop. Very hard to interpret. Menzieshill disappointed to be found against there.
Fraser trying to get in the way, I think illegally.
Menzieshill are just lacking a bit of width in their attacks. It's all quite central, which Grove are finding quite easy to defend, so maybe need to get a wee bit more width and try and open up some more gaps for their small triangular passing routines.
Kenzie out of a tight spot there, Nairn. Away from Alan Johnston.
I think Michael McKenzie epitomises how simple hockey can be. He doesn't do anything fancy. He gets the ball, he gives it, he goes, he resets if the pass isn't on, makes the game look easy, as we alluded to earlier. So wonderful, wonderful young player.
Brilliant stuff from Woodall there. Nairn. Oh, it's looping over. Keeper's might walk about, but the arm is out.
What a tackle by Grove Menzieshill at the top D. I'm not sure who got that last touch, but that, I mean, James Nairn had the whole goal at his mercy, and suddenly there was a jab tackle by somebody. It may have been Golden or Carnegie, but what an important tackle that was. Wonderful play by Alan Johnson, the build-up, finding Nairn. 2 young players from the west now plying their trade in Edinburgh. Here's Nairn on the ball again. Lovely turn.
Yeah. Great feet there. Johnston. Shepherdson for Coultis. Turn through, Ryan was there, but again, just two little infringements in and around the D. Costing them further attack, further chance for a goal.
It's one-way traffic at the moment. Grove can't get out their half. Really aggressive by Grange. They're front marking, they're man-to-man at the back, and they're really aggressive when they're attacking, so really difficult for Menzieshill at this point. I'm sure Coach Neil Allen will be trying to come up with ideas to try and get his team back in the game, because they're really not in it at the moment.
There and back. Making a point just before the single, but talking about early in the day, Millie Steiger a few years ago, I remember I've seen her and one or two other youngsters on the pitch in that women's game, like Nairn or as well Aidan McQuaid for Grove, that have kind of developed through on this big pitch and big stage, now playing for their club. And now forward again here at Grange. It's wonderful solo running, but the tackle coming in to stop Duncan Riddle.
Yeah, that's a wonderful tackle by young John Stephen. I mean, Riddle was in. It had to be perfect, or that would have been 3-0 and potentially at this early stage game over for Menzieshill. So wonderful last ditch tackle by the youngster. I can't actually remember the last time that Grove had the ball in the attacking half under control, so a real spell for Grange here.
Yeah, given away by Tomlinson here. Mills did well, and it's a good save, beaten away, not fully cleared yet though. Stephen doing his best to clean up with some help in there from Gavin Tomlinson. Well, this is a rare bit of play forward. Cameron Golden trying to spin around. Also down there trying to help out too was Crenny, who is a big player for him but hasn't really had too much to sniff off so far.
Yeah, Crenny's definitely a player that Grange will be very wary of. He's very quick, very direct, and a good attacking threat.
Cosgrove back. Carnegie. Excellent weave in. Turn, and well, there were one or two claims from Grange and the umpire obliged.
A classic Carnegie, super talented skill on the ball. His elimination skills are outstanding, and just using him to really good effect here. Turning in a sixpence a couple of times, but unfortunately must have been an infringement in between. First bit of class we've really seen from Grove in the attacking circle so far.
Fraser out muscling Cosgrove. Couldn't do anything with the ball.
They're a real tough nut to crack, Grange. I mean, if you looked at that last attacking play, they're giving their opponents a metre at best of space. So it's going to take a moment of individual skill to break that down. They're going to find it really hard to pass round them.
Carnegie this time going for a direct pass en route, which has worked out. Stick challenges galore, and a bit of a warning.
Yeah, I think Cosgrove, Ben Cosgrove was a wee bit annoyed. He thought the infringement was maybe in the 23, impeded his attack, so might have wanted a wee bit more than a free hit. Martin Madden just stamping his authority there and explaining why he hadn't upgraded it. So pretty good game management there, I would say, and Ben accepted his interpretation. Not many people don't accept Martin's interpretation though, so well done, Ben.
Hot potato time for Hopkinson, and that has caused a bit of a problem. Couldn't really engineer the pass, could Martin.
Yeah, they're stealing quite a bit of ball now, Grove Menzieshill, but Grange are just shutting down the space. They're so tight to their players, so disciplined and structured that it's going to be a really hard nut to crack.
Carnegie. Turn and weave in 3D skill, but couldn't quite get as far this time.
Yeah, that's maybe I think we've probably seen the best and the worst of Jamie. His skills are exceptional, but sometimes not always used in the right place.
Cut tail there for Cameron Golden. Still in Grove's direction. It's Grove just on a road. Long tower in. Oh, and it's, well, got the touch on, not quite control as wanted, but Frank Ryan was alert.
Grange have to be the hardest team in the Scottish League to break down. Once they go in into a lead, they're very, very hard to break because they're so good at just sitting in. They don't make mistakes, they keep it simple. They tend to make very few unforced errors. That's really unlucky for Cammy Fraser. That was just a coming together of sticks. Nothing in it. Disappointed, but good discipline by him just to get on with the game there. It's quite a battle. It's almost like the young pretender versus the wily old fox. You know, Cammy's been there and done it, whereas Cameron's very much coming on the scene. So I think Cammy Fraser will be very keen to win that battle and prove that there's life in him yet.
Under 5 minutes left in this first period. Here comes Mills. In the middle there was Carnegie to stop things. Richie McCluskey looking to turn away. It's a super ball here. Mills, was he body checked? He was. And straight up to the umpire goes Gavin Thompson to plead his innocence, but don't know if he's got much to argue about. It's pretty clear cut, you'd say, Alan?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Gavin's arguing about. It might have been something prior to that, but it looked, yeah, I don't think Ian Diamond had any choice. Pretty nervy moments for Grove. I think 2-0 down. Definitely getting dominated in terms of possession, territory and goal scoring opportunities. A third goal here could be maybe one step too far.
Kenzie to inject.
My money would be in Dan Coultas here, but that might just be too obvious. We'll see if what Grange come up with. I think they'll stick with what they know.
We'll see what they go for here. Just over 3 minutes left in this first half. It is Coultas and it's saved well.
Yeah, lovely save by Paul Martin there. Pretty brave. It might look easy on TV or on the live stream, but it takes a lot of guts to stay there and have a ball flicked at you at 80-90 miles an hour. Dan Coultas, after all, is a guy, as far as I know, that scored 5 goals in one match for Scotland against South Africa, so he's a very potent weapon.
Not happy there, though, that ball isn't for his side from that decision. Another look at the penalty corner. Ian McQuaid doing well, pushing it wide, back it to him now. Space and opportunity, it's very tight down the baseline, it's a penalty corner and an opportunity for Grove to perhaps get one back before the half-time break.
Yeah, Duncan Riddle just guilty there. He was skilled by the Menzieshill player and just wee stick wrap there. Not a huge amount in it, but when you're in the D, you have to be perfect on the ball. Menzieshill have quite a few threats here at corners. We've got Cameron Golden, Aidan McQuaid, Gav Tomlinson. Looks like Golden's pulling out, so it looks like with Tomlinson or McQuaid as the main flick options here.
Yeah, Cameron Golden heading across.
Fully expect at least a keeper having to make the save.
It's going to be McQuaid. It is the keeper with a save, and it's defended pretty well, fairly comfortably.
Yeah, it's not good enough. Easy save for the keeper. Just went to ground early. If he's going to go low, he has to find the corners or find a deflection. Far too easy and far too routine. He'll be disappointed. I don't think he caught the ball quite as he would have liked, but positive for Grove, getting that corner, so hopefully he can build on that.
Getting back there, Mackenzie having to watch the attentions of Moon. Just trying to play out the final few seconds. Richard McCluskey has maybe other ideas. A couple of quick passes and up to Dylan Bean. Oh, the sticker could have went through anywhere. It has went through, driven across and darted behind. Richie McCluskey getting forward. That'll do for the first half. Grange have had most of the domination. Grove had a little spell towards the end, but Grange looking to not do what they did last year, go in front and then lose the game, and with 2 goals, as we see here, that chance towards the end. 2 goals, Grange fairly comfortable. What's your thoughts from that first half, Alan?
I think having played against Grange and watched them over the years, they always look like they're just taking it easy, never looked too flappable. Reality is they know how to see a game out. 2-0 lead, very hard team to beat. I would love to do a half-time, full-time score analysis of their season, but I can't see a team like Grange with the quality they have and the lack of unforced errors they make losing a 2-0 lead. Really tough. Menzieshill are going to have to change something to break them.
We'll see what happens. Half-time it is. We'll leave for the moment with some of the best bits or the goals from that first period. But at the moment, Grange 2, Grove Menzieshill 0.
And the North Midlands Scottish Cup finals here. Looking forward to you for 2 days of great hockey as well. Hockey cafe is still open. The hot drinks, soft drinks. The bar is open as well.
Surface, but
I thought that as sprinklers come on at half time, the wind may blow the water into the stands.
To me, it's got.
Welcome teams back out on it in the second half. Let's hear for Grange and Grove Menzieshill.
Cyril's one's not passing at the minute. I think he said, see after this, tell me what the grip at the top of the grip off is now. Let me just check it. Let me just check it. And if it's fine, then he knows what he's got to do. Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Ben, the ball's going to be slow down here.
I would just came in here.
Ready?
Welcome back then, second half underway as Grange have a 2-0 lead against Grove Menzieshill. Both these sides are in Europe, but the top seeds, top honours for the Scottish placings is the prize here. Grove managed to edge out Grange last year, but at the moment the side who are favourites, the champions, are in front. Thanks to 2 goals. Ryan early on, and then Bean as well, and perhaps an early third. It's a shot which is parried away by the keeper. There's the hashtag grand finals if you want to join our conversation. Hopkinson launches. Have a dance in the control from Gavin Tomlinson. Oh, and that's a decent strike there by Robbie Shepardson. Deflection away. On the front foot straight away from the restart. Coulter switching across. Comes back in, and can we smuggle across? It might be now. It is! John McCluskey was there. It was initially Alan Johnston that was trying to get it home, but that's 3-0, and that should be game, set and match, Alan.
Yeah, 3 goals down with what, just over 30 minutes to go. It's going to be a really long road back for Grove Menzieshill. Yeah, real opportunism there at the back post. Always alert, always expecting the ball. Lovely finish.
I was just about to ask you what would be the game plan for both sides for the second period, but for Grove, that's firmly out the window.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what the game plan was, they were always going to have to do something a wee bit different, 2 goals down. But for me, they're going to have to change something drastic. They're going to have to either put an extra player into the attacking quarter, the final quarter, or just be a lot more attacking, abandon defence and just go for it. All it takes is a goal and suddenly the game changes. Long enough for them to get into the game. I just don't see Grange opening up enough.
Ball flicked in towards the circle again for this time the other side, to the side chasing in Grove. Cameron Golden looking to perhaps restart until they'll leave it. Here is said Golden.
it's really interesting watching Grange play. I'd love to do a video analysis of them as a team because they make so few mistakes. You quite often watch a play and think it's possibly a wee bit boring, a bit methodical, but they've got the flair players. They just choose the right time to do it and the right time to be creative. Just make so few mistakes.
Coulter Loftus got a touch there from Carnegie, which will concede the long corner.
Yeah, Dan Coulter with a much better range there with his flick, asking questions of the Menzieshill defence. Good interception by Johnson there.
Yeah, and then trying to wriggle it through, and great skill. Cross it goes there from Ryan. The one in the centre was Mills, couldn't get the touch.
Yeah, Menzieshill have been really frail. I mean, that's twice balls are going straight through the kind of hotline, as we call it in hockey, the direct route to goal. They just need to get numbers there and block that direct route out and force Grange to be better and to think more and to make better decisions to beat them. It's too easy at the moment.
Rusnick there. Back with him, number 18. Bowled over, Shepherdson quickly. Cotas. And towards Ryan.
Yeah, Carnegie driving through, good skills, cutting across, but yeah, winning the foul there, just clever. Draw the foul, cut across the man, good experience. I like the fact that Grange aren't sitting back. They're actually, I think they've realised that the best form of defence is actually to attack Grove and just limit their time and their space on the ball.
Well, Grove had to battle back in the semi-finals, but it seems like it should be a task too much. They were 1-up and then 2-1 down against the Western Wildcats, and they went on to win 3-2. Cameron Golden was a late winner, but 3-0 seems too much of a task. Still trying and battling for, but not too many real clear-cut chances. Mill's not happy.
Yeah, it's fair to say that Grange don't agree with that one. But as I try and remind myself, individuals on the pitch make a lot more mistakes than the poor umpires. But yet, when they make mistakes, they seem to be magnified and certainly intensified in terms of the player protestation.
Way down the channel. Twist and turn away. Twist and turns into nothing spectacular, but the possession back with Grove.
Unfortunately for Grove, Cameron Golden, who's arguably their most important playmaker, is getting forced into his own defensive half. That's only going to work if players are nearby him so he can get it, offload and get it back. But at the moment, if he's picking up the ball in his own half, their attacking threat is essentially nullified.
Just eked out for a turnover for Ben, who's trying to get there. Bean that was trying to get there rather. Grange had a fairly safe passage. Goals are plenty for them in the semi-final against Uddingston, 4-1. Although it was a great achievement for Uddingston, who have perennially been down near the bottom trying to stay in the league and found their way into the top 4. Good season.
Yeah, it probably came as a surprise to people if they looked at the league table, but in terms of the games they had to play and the team they had assembled, it certainly didn't surprise me. What surprised me was the score in the semi. I thought it would have been a lot tighter. They've got a lot of threats in their team, the Uddy team, and I think they'll be disappointed to have gone down with such a scoreline, but again, they'll be ready for next season. They'll look to really push for the top 4 again early on. I think it was a very, very tight domestic league this year. I think there was maybe 2 points separating 8th and 4th in the league, so it just shows that it's a very, very competitive league, and hopefully that brings out the best in all our players and equates to a stronger national team as well.
As I was mentioning with Lucy with the women's Ireland, it's very hard because you have a good season, but then if you have a couple of dodgy results, finish say 7th or 8th, then you're into the playoffs or relegation because there's so many teams that are part of that. So quite cutthroat in that respect, but exciting end to the season as it always is.
Yeah, it's really, really hard. Hillhead, also my own club, have been involved in playoffs for quite a few years, and even Grove Menzieshill, they finished a point off Europe 3 or 4 seasons ago and got relegated to National 2 as part of the playoffs. So it's a really, really difficult format that I'm not sure how much the players get out of it, but it's always something that's open for discussion. But to finish 7th and then being a relegation playoff seems pretty hard.
One for the talking points, that one slides by.
Yeah, it's a really nice pass in by McQuaid, but just they're not the same wavelength at the moment. It's just a bit hit and hope. It needs to be a wee bit more exact and a wee bit more formulated than that for any success.
Tomlinson, control was superb there. And the turn was superb from Carnegie. Shove over. Penalty corner has been going.
Yeah, that's a really good bit of play. If any youngsters out there would enjoy that. Tomlinson flicking off his wrong foot. Lovely pick up by Carnegie. Then a classic kind of pivot off his left foot. And then a wee scoop on. And then a pretty cynical challenge. Good communication by the umpires there. Ian Diamond initially given the free hit, but Martin Madden using his whistle tone to suggest that it needed an upgrade to a penalty corner. So really good use of verbal communication there. Or sorry, auditory.
Sounds and all that. Jamie Carnegie across. McQuaid had an effort before half time. Tomlinson around. McQuaid, it is low. And slid away by Mackenzie.
Interesting watching David Knight. Grange had 3 players back there and he urged them forward. He wants to press and press and press.
Goes controlled by Carnegie. It's a bit of a scrap, and that was the chance there for Rolling.
Yeah, if you compare that to the first half chance taken by Bean, I talked about the calmness and the composure. He had as much space, but he didn't make the time. He panicked, he snapped at it, whereas Bean took his time, composed himself and picked his spot. That ultimately is going to be the difference between the sides. Executing the skill. Yeah, well done by Paul Martin. Although, sorry umpire, I didn't mean that. I thought it was our foul. Classic old trick. Umpire sucked in.
Kultis. Okay, just dotting it behind. Ryan, turn there, but seeding one piece of power high.
Yeah, the reverse or the tomahawk's really popular in the game now, but it's a difficult skill to keep flat and can certainly, when it goes wrong, it can cause a fair amount of alarm in an opposition defence. Good turn by Paul Martin laying it off here.
Yeah, good support coming in Stephen. And that was decently enough defended for now. Back it will go to the 23.
Yeah, Grange are just resolute. They're protecting the middle. They're not offering too much through the middle, and they're going to force Grove Menzieshill to do something special to score.
There's an air swipe and move comes to the end. Now you find one or two little half moments, little quarter chances, if you can say that, but they just can't quite find that little gem of a chance to get one back.
Yeah, I think there's certainly plenty of encouragement from anyone watching here or on the live stream. They're certainly getting there, they're getting in the circle. It's just needing that foot or that wee bit of magic to create that goal scoring opportunity.
Fraser, Johnston, taken on by Bean. Another coming together. Lot of instruction. Shepperton goes wide.
That's what I really like about Grange, although it's the stick-to-stick hockey. They don't over-egg their passes, they don't pass for players to run onto, they just keep it really simple. use their athleticism, and look, there's another attack through James Nairn.
And stay around, it does here. Good play by Shepherdson. Hopkinson. Shepherdson. Advantage. Here comes Craney. There is like good control to slide and win it back, and from the side there trying to get things going. It's going to come back down big number 18's direction. 20 to go then. Grange in control. Looks like they will have top spot in Europe for next campaign.
Yeah, and whilst it's ultimately Scottish Hockey decided it comes down to this one grand final, having only lost one game this season, Grange have proven themselves to be the best team in the country, and if the result holds, it will be justified, absolutely, and through the 19-20 games they've played.
Spinning away from Johnston.
We're getting the ball go down the line every single time.
Cotis did see Nairn but went forward. There is Nairn now in the pocket. Nairn trying to chase his own ball back. It's good stuff there from Moon initially, but given back. Oh, and that was a slide in there which perhaps should have been number 4, but not quite the moment there for a young Jacob Toody.
Yeah, I think after having a decent 5 minutes with Grove, with quite a few circle penetrations and a couple of half chances, Grange have re-established their authority in the game, which should be a bit of a concern for Neil Allen and the Grove Menzieshill boys, because having had a good 5 minutes, they didn't really threaten the goal. So a long road back. Here goes Cammy Fraser, lots of space standing off him.
Goes long, but not the control for Riddle.
Yeah, an uncharacteristic mistake there from Riddle and Grange.
That's an unfortunate one. Substitution being made, and the play that should have been there was going off in vain. One back and long striding Mackenzie run, playing through a nice ball for Johnson, but keeper rushing out there, McGilwright.
Yeah, I think if Allen could have his time again, he would have slowed down there, maybe just taken him on 1v1. Keeper rushed, lovely pass through in the reverse slide. He maybe just wasn't quite aware of how near the keeper was, but that should have been 4-0 for me with a player of his quality.
Yeah, McElroy doing really well.
Yeah, absolutely, that's the keeper's main option there. He has to charge, limit the time.
Another one fired in, initially towards Johnson, but the flick behind couldn't be steered goalwards. Let's see authority being refound here by Grange.
Yeah, good dummy and go by Carnegie, using those great elimination skills, but can he find that all important pass? No, but he's won the throw in. Sorry, the sideline.
Cameron Golden. That hotline zone, but couldn't find the right number.
Yeah, good idea. Maybe a wee bit desperate, but you know what? 3-0 down, 16 minutes to go. They have to do something different.
Cosgrove dispossessed, but back with McQuaid. slide in there from McCluskey.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the yellow card, as they call it, the cheese. Could be a 10-minute yellow. Yeah, although not necessarily in the rule book, the FIH guidance on going to ground is even if you win the ball, if you make contact with a player, it should be a minimum of 10 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see what the interpretation is here. Yeah, it should be a 10-minute yellow for that, but we'll see if you can indicate to the technical delegates what the punishment is. Interested to see if that was a slip or a deliberate slide. Unfortunate if it was a slip. I think that may influence umpire Ian Diamond's interpretation, whether or not it was a slip or a dive. Yeah, that's a dive.
Cynical then.
I think he was trying to play the ball, but the rule is that you go to ground, you take the man. It's just to keep the safety of the game. We're interested to see how long he keeps them off for, but that's a timely boost for Grove Menzieshill. It could be almost the remainder of the game off the pitch with 10 men.
So John McCluskey then sitting down then, having his enforced breather. That's Carnegie with the injection here, with the penalty corner after that infringement. None which has been saved by from Cameron Golden.
Yeah, not enough there to test the keeper. Keeper's big, agile, can get to the ground quickly. Need to do a wee bit more than that.
And Tomlinson's given this clean away.
Great cover tackle there by Golden, I think. Really good recovery, because Grange were on a 2v1 there, so important.
Carnegie then for Cosgrove. Is there any life in Grove with the extra player, Cameron Golden? And there was battling Cosgrove once more. But still fairly comfortable defensively for Grange.
Yeah, nice switch of play there by Frank Ryan, altering up the pitch and just stretching Menzieshill that wee bit further.
Here's Mills. And well, it's going against him. Carnegie. Flying there was Golden, and now problems at the other end. Riddle here going himself, and there is a big foot away. McElrevy.
Yeah, great save there. I think Golden felt a wee bit hard done by. I think he was impeded by the stick or across his legs, but umpire didn't see it. And yeah, well done by the keeper. Nice strike by Riddle going across the keeper, the kind of golden rule, trying to hit across the keeper to the opposite post, and he read it really well. A crucial save if Grove have got any chance of fighting back. Yeah, classic there. He's just beaten him too many times. He was away and he came back for more. Maybe a younger player, I'm not sure age-wise, but that's just a bit of inexperience. You've used your elimination skills, you've beaten the player, drive at the D, get the chances going. Doesn't matter how many times you beat them, just beat them once and get away.
Great space. Other side with Cosgrove. Rushing out there was Coultis.
Tell me when you want it. You want it
Coming away is near. No real hindrance with just 10 at the moment. Johnston. Ryan. Another stoppage here. Looks like we're going to go perhaps without a keeper.
Wow, this will certainly make for an exciting end to the game. When you're 12 and a half minutes without a keeper, you really need to score first, or it's keeper back on, I think.
Yep, Dylan Bean on. Just looking at one or two other changes for Grange, but Gavin Tomlinson is going to be the kicking back.
But fair play to Grove and Coach Neil Allen. They have to go for it. It's an end of season game. There's nothing else to play for now. It's all about a win, so they might as well lose going for it rather than peter the game away by not giving it something different.
Especially at the moment when they are still playing against 10.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that essentially adds up to 2 extra outfield players.
Not the easiest situation to come back into, though, to being the sweeper keeper, because you're defending a dangerous situation. Nairn dribbling superbly, but just running out of space. That was dead easy then for the kicking back. It didn't come in towards him.
I just want Grove to show a wee bit more urgency. I mean, that's their defensive hit out. They're meandering up the pitch. Get the ball in play, get it going. See what happens if you can get a goal back. Nothing. They've got nothing to fear now. Get a goal. The game could be back on.
Yeah, there's Tomlinson with that Dayglow green bib. It's high tech. This sweeper keeper, you get a light bib.
Yeah, hockey always an innovator in world sport. It's funny, it's a tactic quite often employed in games like this where we put on an outfield player instead of a keeper, but so often teams haven't actually trained and don't employ the right tactics. But it looks like Menzieshill have nailed it. They pushed their guys high up onto the baseline and lots of width, so they should be able to exploit that extra man.
John Stephen back with Tomlinson. Carnegie off a leg, and Rusnick concedes to the penalty corner.
Yeah, that's more like it from Grove. A bit Grange-esque in the way they played, just stick to stick. Nothing too fancy, simple 2v1s, off the foot. Thank you very much. Penalty corner. The Grange corner defence has been fairly resolute so far, just protecting the middle of the pitch. Keeper quick to get to the ground, so Menzieshill might need to come up with something a wee bit better in terms of their options, or just a wee bit more quality if it's a direct strike or flick.
10.5 minutes left. This is a big moment for Grove to have any hope. McQuaid with the strike, and another so-so penalty corner, really, nothing really of note, and a bit of a waste.
It wasn't a bad routine, but just really well defended by Grange. They've done their homework, they knew exactly what their options were and just got there first.
Bit of urgency now. Is it going to find its space through? It might do. Flashes by Cameron Golden again, lively in the middle, trying to link that all. Stephen for Tomlinson. Now go from that far side. Jamie Golden in there. Bean just clears it away with a bit of help. Oh, Shepperton around too. McQuaid. Nice neat touch. Ben Cosgrove. And he's now not happy. He went by the baseline.
Yeah, I think Menzieshill possibly thought that hit off a foot. Umpire just didn't see that. Yeah, living dangerously there for Menzieshill with that high scoop coming in. Grange win that, and they've got a 2v1 with no padded keeper in goals. So game's on a knife edge in terms of the Menzieshill tactics.
So a good 6 and a bit minutes now without their 11th player. Have been Grange. Husky still down there.
Yeah, watching coach David Knight just telling his players to calm it down. They're 3-0 up, they don't need to score. Nothing too silly, don't commit too many numbers. Yeah, it's off a foot, but it's a kicking back, so they've not, very funny, they've not quite understood this. He can use his feet, Mr. Knight, he can use his feet.
Yeah, Shepardson out was good play. Chances and time are running out for Grove. Rolling decides in the end the Grove to go backwards, and now some space found. Cosgrove trying to wave.
Yeah, it was just a bit silly there, meaningless foul. They've got Grange at their back left, arguably the weakest part of the pitch, and they've just conceded a really silly, needless foul.
Cameron Golden, 1 or 2 touches, but none that help him out, but it will be a long corner. It's taken on by Stephen. Back to the 23 they go. Another try Carnegie this time quickly. But Stone there. Golden in trouble, and through they go here. And look at this for a bit of fate, because straight back on the pitch, John McCluskey from his 10-minute yellow card to score. Do we get 4-0?
I think it's fair to say, looking at the coach's reaction, that he's happy with that one. Definitely a chance I could miss, but fair play. I mean, you don't get much easier than that. He had 23 metres, 30 metres unopposed. I would like to have seen him stop the ball, maybe flick it into the roof, but Menzieshill took the gamble, and unfortunately they've paid the price.
Very full second half for John McCluskey. 2 goals, a 10-minute yellow card, and the keeper is back on for Grove. They've had enough of that experiment. Game can't be won for certain now, more or less.
I don't really see the point in putting the keeper back on at this stage. It's not league, it's not goal difference, it's go for it. Maybe it's pride, I'm not sure. Maybe there's cup games to come and they want to just keep a bit of credibility. But yeah, good half by the youngster McCluskey. I'm not sure if he ended up getting the 10-minute yellow, but yeah, he certainly recovered really well from that setback.
Yeah, it was 10 minutes because he went off in the 16-minute left mark. So he was literally ran on when it happened, about 10 seconds before the ball came towards him.
Yeah, I think it's Providence at hand there. Maybe there's a higher body affecting that part of his game. But yeah, great timing with him coming back on, and a very composed finish, should we say.
Quaid, well, he's guts out, but not going to be for him and his side this year. Grove, who won this final last year. Grange very comfortable on this. As we mentioned, they did lose to Grange to Grove just 2 or 3 weeks back, but they had the title sewn up then.
Yeah, it seems like Grove have just abandoned what I would say is a real strength of their game. Really good teamwork, short, sharp passing. They've got a wee bit individual. That's desperation, it's tiredness, and it's just not working. There's only one team in Scotland that just will never work against, and it's Grange. They're too organised, they're too disciplined, they're too tight in their marking. They need to start working as a team to have any opportunities to score.
Maybe this is it. Rolling, support there, and Golden, James Golden. Then that last ditch challenge comes in again.
Yeah, most of the time in sport we talk about attacking, and we pay a lot of money for attackers, certainly in football, because they score the goals, but the defensive shift by the Grange players has been absolutely tremendous today.
There's been a bit, I think, back chat going on there. Green card now being shown on that far side, just off camera, and the Grange are once again back to 10 with Greg Hopkinson heading for his bench.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what that was about. I think it must only have been back chat. Doesn't seem to have been anything else obvious occurred. Must have been something pretty serious for Martin to have to go to his cards though.
That's back Ryan there, harrying. So a ball which is to no one in Navy, and here's John McCluskey again, looking for his hat trick, but he was trying to set up one, and the arms go out.
I think it's fair to say the McCluskey household is going to be a pretty happy place tonight. They've both had very good games. Interesting to see which one of the brothers feels they deserve the bragging rights, because they've both had their moments.
Surely the 2 goals for John McCluskey, although I don't know how much of the yellow card takes that out of it, but 2 goals is probably clinches it, surely. But both played well, as you say, in different ways. Be diplomatic about it, should the parents all be. Duncan Riddle ready to get this in play. 90 seconds left, looking for number 5. Well, they went high, they did, with Coultis.
What a save by Paul Martin. I mean, he saved one in the first half, low, about waist type. That's an absolute world of a save. Ball's destined for the top right hand corner as you look from Grange's point of view, and he's just plucked it away. Wonderful reflexes by the normally striker back there doing a defensive shift.
Yeah, it looks actually better seen it the second time.
Yeah, you won't get many better saves than that in Europe, if not world hockey. Absolute beauty by the doctor.
Here is John McCluskey coming away with it. Wilson, couple of quick passes, and up the other side we go with Martin. Don't have an awful lot to work with. Cameron Golden. One final act, Cameron Golden. But nothing's going to come from it. The countdown is on. Celebrations and revenge for last year's defeat in the grand final. The champions of Scotland have that top spot in Europe. A terrific performance, a fairly dominant performance from Grange. They were 2 up at half time. Ryan Bean with goals, and then John McCluskey with 2 in the second period. Very, very comfortable for the Grange men. Alan.
Yeah, even looking at their celebration, very muted. They're just so professional. They know the job they have to do. They execute what their coach asks them to do. So there's no surprises for them. They know if they stick to their basics. They're very physical, they're athletic, they're well coached. Wonderful performance and deserved winners, and absolutely the best team in Scotland, as we just saw.
Absolutely, and particularly for these sides, and most the sides now the season comes to an end, but still we've got cup action to come over the next couple of weeks, accumulating in the finals weekend, which is in the first weekend of May the 4th, 5th, which is something we'll be looking forward to. Of live coverage of that. You can get yourself along. It'll be, I'm sure, I've got to put an asterisk beside it, but it'll be warmer probably. So it's still a big couple of weeks ahead for the domestic game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's the finals days in May the 4th, so it's just a matter of teams keeping in shape. I think there may be a match up again with Menzieshill and Grange in the cup semis, if my memory serves me correctly. So again, for Menzieshill, they've got European hockey next week. That's a great experience for them. That'll raise their levels, and they'll go away, they'll look at this game, and they'll look at what they could have done differently, could have done better, and they'll be back, as we said earlier. A lot of their players have come back from injury, so they won't be fully match fit. So yeah, cup finals weekend will be a cracker, so get your tickets and get along and watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and very much good luck to the Grove in the EHL against Amsterdam. Will be tough next week for that one, but they'll give it a good shot. But these two in Europe, but it is Grange with the top spot spoils as we go over some of those best moments. Alan, great to have your thoughts. Hope you've enjoyed the action, if maybe not the cold weather. I think we need some hot drinks now. Thanks for joining our coverage. We'll leave you with some of these best bits. Grange winning by 4 goals to 0 against Grove Menzieshill. They have got the top honours in this European playoff. It's been a great day of action with Glasgow University Watsonians and the women's and the men staying in National League 1. Western Wildcats, they'll be in Europe for the first time on the women's side, and Grange top spot here in the men's competition. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time for live coverage of the Scottish Cup finals weekend. From all of us, it's bye for now.
I think we're ready for the presentation to begin. Coming to collect the medals and the trophy. Please put your hands together for winning today, Grange! And now presenting the trophy. Your winners today, Grange. And please, a huge round of applause for our runners up today. And once again, we have another round of applause for our ball patrol today. We'll have the yard day, keep it moving forward, keep it moving. And a huge thank you to everyone supporting Scottish hockey today. Looking forward to seeing you back here in the 4th and 5th of May for the Scottish Cup finals. Thank you to